E&O coverage would protect an agent like John against any financial fallout of such a simple impact, right? It is amazing how many times I personally see, by bringing buyers out to properties, what I saw in the selling paragraph, or nowadays especially what some agent through an AI engine didn't fact check it, put it publicly in the MLS, copy pasted, and now the house is misrepresented. And if people understood how easy it was to go out there and challenge that advertising as false advertising, a lot more agents would learn faster. However, my advice isn't, hey, more people should go out there and challenge these things. More people should hold their real estate accountable for correcting the information. So why would an agent specifically need E&O insurance? I can tell you, and I want to be careful about this one because we're in Florida. We are based here in just south of Tampa Bay. So we are in the Tampa Bay region. But we in Keystone do business all the way to the northern border of Florida, all the way to the southern border of Florida, both east and west coast, into the Keys and into the Bahamas. So several states require agents to actually carry E&O coverage as a part of their licensing procedure. That way it ensures that those professionals are adequately protected for these things. This mandatory coverage in those states is going to help safeguard those agents and clients from potential financial and legal repercussions. Because remember, where there's a buyer, there's a seller, and vice versa. So the lawsuit might include the new person in the transaction or the person that sold the house that may not have told you appropriately about it. I can tell you right now, as of this morning, following states have that insurance requirement for agents as an individual, which is why I'll know about it. Colorado, Idaho, Iowa, Kentucky, Louisiana, Mississippi, Montana, Nebraska, New Mexico, North Dakota, Rhode Island, South Dakota, Tennessee, and Wyoming. 2 of those states are on our expansion list for Keystone for this next year. So we wanted to make absolutely sure that we put in our policies and procedures manuals for those states specifically that they must cover, that they must have individual agent E&O coverage as well as what the brokerage will cover. Now, Florida and the other states that were not mentioned do not require agents to have specific E&O insurance, although they can, and certainly each professional should consider it individually, and it's part of your business budget. So certainly double coverage, the belt and suspenders ideal behind insurance, is probably better than not. However, it's worth noting that brokerages typically carry an E&O policy 35,000 feet. It covers the entire team, the entire set of agents from any professional errors. Real estate agents, realtors need E&O insurance. It is an unpredictable world out there, and you never know what, when, where, or why a claim may arise. Several every single day mistakes that might not seem like a big deal to an agent can have significant repercussions. And when I say repercussions, I mean financial ruin. And from a client's perspective, potentially gains or at least corrective financial measures. So agents should not jeopardize or put themselves at risk from any type of commissions attack, which is what it would be by missing out on just some essential coverage. What do these kind of things cost? That's a bigger question, right? Costs of E&O insurance vary from a lot of different factors. So size of the company that you work for or the amount of business that they transact. Coverage limits that are chosen is also a big component. So on an average real estate agent, they could expect to pay between $500 and $1,000 annually. Each agent at a brokerage level as well work kind of the same way. But as an individual policy, $500 and $1,000 for personal policy. Larger firms with more transactions will definitely face higher premiums due to an increased risk. The business they do, the more opportunity there is for failure. The cost will also vary based on a couple of other variables. Geographic location. So metro areas, higher population densities may have higher premiums. Coverage limits. Higher coverage limits is going to offer more protection, but result in increased premiums for that coverage. Deductibles. Opting for higher deductibles will also lower the premium or have an excessive premium cost. because of that deductible amount allowance. Experience and history. Agents with more experience and a record of clean claims also secure lower premiums. Brokerage size and the type of brokerage matters too. So the cost would vary depending on what the brokerage's overall risk might be, and that's assessed by the insurance company based on the amount and the types of businesses that they do. And then an individual risk assessment too. So premiums will also be influenced by transaction volume and the types of properties that you handle. Whew, must have some weather coming in. My nose can't stop itching this morning. The cost of E&O insurance might seem like an additional expense for you, especially when working as an independent contractor. However, it is a worthwhile expense and should be taken directly out of your real estate salary and your real estate budget for the year. You need to consider the potential financial impact if one of those things did happen to you. If there was a claim against you, the financial fees alone can stack up very quickly. So how do you pick a provider? Where do you find these things? That kind of stuff. All real estate professionals would start by just researching a little bit at E&O insurance for real estate coverage. These providers understand the real estate market. They understand the risks associated with your profession, and they'll be able to evaluate your reputation as well as you should do the same for them. Check their reviews out. Make sure that you can seek out recommendations from other colleagues that are doing this as well. Compare the coverage options so that you can ensure that the comprehensive protection for claims includes misrepresentation and failure to disclose important information. Because remember, it doesn't matter if you didn't know about it in real estate. It matters that you had all of the potential paperwork to protect you from knowing it. So if you made sure to do a full seller's property disclosure, that protected you as an agent because you had a specific and a very long form for a client to actually go through there and itemize things that should be a risk to the home so that buyers can see that in advance. That way, agents could go, hey, it wasn't even mentioned in this. They misrepresented their home. It was not on me. I provided the proper paperwork to cover me, blah, blah, blah. These kinds of things, right? It is very important to pay attention to what the policy limits would be and what the deductibles might be to balance that adequate coverage for those premiums. But assessing claims so that you can process to insure should be very straightforward and responsive. The reviews that you're looking for is a responsive company that understands how to handle quick response to critical disputes. Be careful anytime you select any insurance company. It needs to be not based on who's necessarily the cheapest, but who has the reputation of taking care of their claimants or their covered people. I don't know what the proper term for this is, but their clients should be first and foremost when it comes to the protections that are in place.